Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. How's that sound?
Sounds fantastic.
Saturday, January the 23rd, National Handwriting Day and National Pie Day. There's several of those, by the way.
Pie, just P-I-E or pie?
This is P-I-E.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a good... But there's, I think, 3 different pie days. And then January the 24th, Sunday, Beer Can Appreciation Day.
We should all appreciate the beer can.
Indeed.
That was quite an innovative thing.
National Peanut Butter Day, which we should also all appreciate.
Love peanut butter.
And National Compliment Day. Heidi, have I told you lately how beautiful you are?
No, actually.
Well, you are mighty beautiful.
Why,
and you're my
thank you.
wife, so I can say that without getting in trouble. So
You should be able to tell anybody that
should.
they're beautiful because everybody loves to hear that.
that is a good thing. And super excited for my guest today. I have best-selling author Sharon Jaynes. She's going to share her secret to living a better story. Got a brand new book out. It's called When You Don't Like Your Story, What If Your Worst Chapters Could Become Your Greatest?
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Researchers believe a prehistoric painting of a pig discovered in Indonesia is the world's oldest depiction of an animal, and they estimate it at 45,000 years old.
Wow.
I'm not sure how they know it's 45,000 years old, but
It's a guess.
they estimate it.
It could have been done last week by
Yeah.
a toddler. They don't.
I'm not sure.
know.
But that was the original post on a wall. Like nowadays you post on your Facebook wall.
Right.
Kids do the Snapchat and the TikTok and all of that stuff, but this was posting on an actual wall back in the olden times. And a survey reveals half of all homeowners have had problems with their neighbors. We've been pretty fortunate.
We've been pretty fortunate
our
everywhere
neighbors.
that we've
Yeah.
lived for the most part.
I think we one time, and
We had
we
one
had one
neighbor
neighbor
that
that we used to get along with, and then they got weird, and I don't know what happened there. But for the most part, we've been good. So half of all homeowners have had issues with their neighbors. If you've never had issues, you may be the issues. I'm just saying. Thanks for listening to surveys and studies and such.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Interesting story here. Authorities say an intoxicated man drove his vehicle up the stairs at the Wisconsin Capitol grounds. He did not appear to be politically motivated in any way. 44-year-old Willie Burks, B-U-R-K-S, drove up the exterior steps. And this happened at 9:30 p.m. He left the Capitol grounds, drove against traffic before parking his vehicle. He was arrested then after that for his 3rd drunken driving offense.
Okay.
He was also charged with reckless driving, operating while suspended, driving against traffic, and driving on a sidewalk.
Okay.
Madison police say that there was no indication of a threat to the Capitol, which is under increased security, but they said the guy had just been drinking.
Right.
So, interesting stuff that happened, again, in Wisconsin, at the Wisconsin Capitol. I've actually been there to that.
Have you?
Yes, I have. Here's what I remember. I was in 1st grade. I remember a whole bunch of squirrels everywhere. There were squirrels, like a bunch of them, which was kind of cool.
You went there like on a field trip?
No, I went there to visit.
That's a little weird.
I went there to visit my aunt who lived in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So that's why I was there.
There you go.
No, and this dude was there because he was drunk. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Not one, but 2 stories about the couple Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. They stopped going to marriage counseling as their divorce draws near.
Oh, that's
so I'm really sad, honestly.
That's a shame.
I know it sounds ridiculous.
It's sad when anybody goes through that.
But I remember seeing videos. Again, we're not like super fans and any of that kind of stuff, but I remember seeing videos online and they seem so perfect for each other. And I know they've been together for a long time. So I'm really sad to see they're going through this. And the second one says, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's marriage issues will be featured on the next season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
That's
so
super.
It's going to be
just
so
what
now
everybody needs.
there are people saying, is this really a thing or is just this a
for ratings.
TV thing? And there's a movie called Saint Maud. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It's being called the first must-see horror film of 2021.
Ooh.
Story of a possessed woman who believes God is telling her to do terrible things. I've not seen it. I've not even seen a preview for it, but
I like scary movies.
I know you do. So I got a feeling we'll probably be watching it. That's Big Screen, Little Screen. Brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. Controversial YouTuber PewDiePie is making a comeback to social media after a 4-year hiatus.
Okay.
The Swedish vlogger is the most popular YouTuber in the world, over 108 million subscribers. I looked to see how many subscribers we have. He has 108 million subscribers. That is 108 million more than we have. You can subscribe if you want, but
I have
we don't
heard
really do much.
of
PewDiePie,
but
yeah.
I don't watch anything.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of the content that PewDiePie puts out is really geared towards a younger audience. Like,
I think most everything everybody puts out on these things is geared towards
people younger than us.
Yeah.
You're saying we're not the target market,
we
Heidi.
really probably are not.
Although every once in a while I'll see something that gets my eye. I'm like, oh, check it out. That would look really good with Crocs and socks. Okay, maybe nothing would. Infamous Russian weight loss influencer, Mariana Balmashev, I probably said all of that wrong,
I'm sure you nailed that.
revealed that she recently married her 21-year-old stepson and had his baby.
Ew.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's her stepson,
That's a little creepy.
So she used to be married to his dad. Now she's married to him.
How awkward would
That would
Thanksgiving be?
Be very awkward. I don't know what the rest of the dynamics are. I don't know. California man with a fear of catching COVID was arrested after living at the O'Hare International Airport for the last 3 months. At the airport.
Yeah, because that's the least germy place you could possibly go.
If you're going to live anywhere, why would it be at an airport?
He must have been homeless.
I have no idea. Moving on to the next thing. Are you on a diet? Well, maybe you don't call it a diet. You're just eating well or eating differently. Well, either way, a study recently said the average adult will try how many diets during their lifetime? Heidi, did you shoot out a number there?
Gosh, I'll say 25.
More than that, 126.
Really?
Yeah, the average adult will try 126 diets during their lifetime, assuming you begin adulthood at age 18. That works out to about 2 diets per year for the rest of a natural person's life. So, like, if you've lived to be the age that most people live to be, that's 2 diets a year. Right now, I think we fit in that category, and we might even exceed it. There have been times we've done 2 or 3 diets a year, maybe 4. And
but not
really,
trying different
it's
diets.
one diet.
It's one diet that we just don't stick to.
And then we get off the rails a bit, and we're like, remember when we started on a diet like 2 months ago, and we were doing so good?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, February happened?
Yeah.
All right, and one last thing here. 3 out of 4 American dog owners believe their pets can forecast bad weather than professionals can.
Okay.
72% of dog owners say their pet has a better sense of climate than meteorologists. Pets, by the way, that's one of those things where, like, I think everybody's got interesting pet stories, but I don't think I can ever think of any of my pets that could tell me the forecast.
No, I can't think of a... That's what I was just wondering. I've never paid attention to whether or not I thought my dogs could tell there's bad weather coming.
I don't know. So apparently a lot of people do, because, again, it wasn't a tiny number. 72%.
Huh.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with our guest today, Sharon Jaynes, and she's the author of a new book that's coming out on Tuesday. It's called When You Don't Like Your Story. And I love the fact that, Sharon, that this is an opportunity for people to change their story. And you're saying, you don't have to live that story. You can change it, right?
Absolutely, we can change it.
And I the second half of the title is, what if your worst chapters could become your greatest victories? And I think so many times people don't think about that, but when you have a struggle, you can turn that into a great opportunity too, can't you?
Yes, absolutely. I think that God uses our broken stories more than any other stories in our lives, and He can take those broken pieces that we just cling to sometimes and turn those into beautiful masterpieces that just show other people what God's forgiveness, what God's grace, what God's healing power can do in a life.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your background, and then we're going to come back to this book. But you've been a public speaker for many, many years, and you're not new to the writing world either. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that you've done before this book.
Okay, this is actually my 25th book. Some of the other books that I've written are The Powerful Woman's Words, Enough, Silencing the Lies That Steal Your Confidence, Praying for Your Husband from Head to Toe, Take Hold of the Faith You Long For, and that subtitle was Let Go, Move Forward, and Live Bold. So you can find out all those books on sharonjaynes.com. But yeah, there's a bunch of books there.
And I'm going to throw a link to that to make it really easy to find. And you get a chance to go out and do quite a bit of speaking. And I suppose this last year's maybe been a little bit different because the whole world has been a little bit different. But on average, in a regular year, how many times do you typically get out and speak at different events?
Well, on a not COVID year, it's usually about twice a month. That's if I get two in a month, then that month is closed because I really like my husband and I don't want to leave him any more than that. And except in the summer, sometimes in the summer we don't do that kind of speaking. But in the summer times, a lot of times I do teaching for other women who want to be writers and speakers. That's
really cool. If people want to find you on social media, where's the best place?
Probably Facebook. I have two Facebook pages. One is just Facebook/Sharon Jaynes, and my last name's kind of weird, Jaynes. And then I have another Facebook page that's Facebook, The Praying Wives Club. So those are the two where I probably interact with people the most.
The new book, When You Don't Like Your Story, that's coming out Tuesday. Can people pre-order that as well?
They can pre-order, and if you pre-order, there's lots of free goodies that come along with it. You get a download for the digital book, The 5 Dreams of Every Woman. You get a free chapter, another free download, a screensaver. I mean, there's all kind of other goodies. And to sign up for the pre-order bonuses, you go to the website that is whenyoudointlikeyourstory.com. Now, that's long, and you don't put the apostrophe in the don't.
Yeah.
So if you go there, you can, in order today, before tomorrow, then you can get lots of goodies to go with it.
That is fantastic. We'll throw a link to that. Now, what are you going to do next?
I'm not sure. I'm still praying about that.
Where do you come up with the ideas for the books? Is this based on questions people ask you, or where do you come up with the concepts?
Sometimes it is what people are asking me or what I see people struggling with this book. For the past 25, 30 years that I've been working in women's ministry, I just kept seeing women just really getting stuck in the bad parts of their stories and seeing that in such a negative way, which is what we all tend to do. But my hope is that I can help women see that we don't need to get stuck in those bad parts, but we can keep moving forward with forgiving those people who've hurt us or coming out of that cloud of shame. I call it leaving the pain place and leaving the shame place, and then turning around and allowing God to use that for good. And once we can take our stories and help someone else go through a struggle in their own lives because how God has brought us through, then you know what? We aren't ashamed of it anymore. And the pain just dissipates when we can turn around and use that for good. I think, we talk about Romans 8:28 a lot in the Christian realm and how God uses everything for good for those who love God and according to His purpose. But it's when we take our difficult parts of our story and turn around and use what God's done in our life through that to help someone else. I think that's the good. I think that's part of what that good is that we're talking about and what God's talking about in Romans 8:28.
I agree completely. Sharon, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us about this today.
Thank you so much.
And again,
have a great day.
You too. Again, sharonjaynes.com, and I'm going to throw a link to that. And the book is called When You Don't Like Your Story. You can pre-order it today, and it's available on Tuesday. All of the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Humans, like you and me, we are the only critters on the planet that blush. So
Oh, I've never thought about that before, but I suppose.
we're maybe the only animals that feel embarrassment too, but they don't really know how to find that out. Although I got to tell you, I think I've seen dogs that have been embarrassed before. Charles Darwin called blushing the most peculiar and most human of all expressions, while Mark Twain said man is the only animal that blushes or needs to. So there you go.
Okay.
A little fun fact for you right here on the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline Indonesia. Here's your story. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is said to be working remotely on an island off the coast of Indonesia. So that's where they think that he's at nowadays. Like he's not in the headquarters. He's like, according to the story, one person said hiding out. I don't know that he's hiding out. If he was, he wouldn't tell you where he is. But that's kind of interesting, hanging out in Indonesia.
There you go.
That is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. And when I say weird news, I mean I don't even know what most of this means, but I'm going to read it to you. 3 bippity-boppity-boos are living happily ever after in a land far, far away, Seattle, Washington. A thriving throuple who identify as a princess fairy, Lolly,
Oh my gosh.
Gunther the troll, and Eon the leprechaun are living out a fairy tale romance of their dreams. Again, I'm not trying to say this isn't okay. I'm just saying it's weird news. Spellbound by love, the 3 humans turned mythical creatures are building a dream haven together in their polymorphous partnership. Mm-hmm. We are in what we would call a closed polycule, Princess Lolly explained. We consider ourselves a closed family unit. The more people, the more everyone's time becomes divided, and we have a really good, fluid, working family unit, the queen of the castle added. Naturally, Twitter takers are waving their wands over their keyboards, sharing very interesting responses. The magic of Princess Lolly's fairy dust cannot protect the threesome from these wicked comments. But it says each member of the Power Pack contracted the virus COVID-19, so they each had that. And they say it's when one of them went to visit the tooth fairy, but it was really just a dentist. So I don't know what's going on here, but I didn't know where else to put this. It certainly fits the category of today's
Yeah, it does.
weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. A Florida woman who decided that she did not want to wear a mask and she went to an Einstein bagel shop in Boca Raton was finally arrested for trespassing following quite a confrontation. I'm sorry. It says it could serve as a Karen masterclass. I see. Her real name is Cindy. No, I'm just reading some of these stories that I get. They write them thinking they're cutesy. It's just really hard to read. Right. Cindy Falco DeCorio, 61, refused to wear a mask when she went to an Einstein Bagels around 11 a.m. A manager asked her to, and when it turned into an issue, they finally called the police. She said, "I'm an American. I'm allowed to breathe. It's against my religion. It's against my amendment." Deputy tried to calm her down, and then she told him, "You need to read the Constitution. Get your hands off me." Anyway, it turned into a big thing. She said the cop was kidnapping her. So there's some extreme on both sides here.
Yeah.
Here's what I would have done. I think I would have said,
take your business elsewhere.
Get your stuff to go. Maybe that's the answer. Or what do you want? We'll bring it out to you. I think there would have been a way for everybody to win, because now there are people that are like boycotting this restaurant, and there are people on the other side that are not thrilled with her. It turned into a big deal because everything in 2021 turns into a big deal. So I think we all need to calm down a lot. But this is today's moment of duh. And there's some duh, by the way, for both sides here.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is this fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, how about this one? Fake news or Florida. A Miami man with no arms was charged with stabbing a Chicago tourist. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
It is a true story. Yeah, it's a true story. It happened. I've got a link to it if you don't believe me. You can find it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. And here's the headline. Volunteers remove nearly 10,000 pounds of trash from the Tennessee River. How cool is that?
Oh, that's nice.
Small group of volunteers decided to clean things up a bit, and they got 10,000 pounds of trash from a Tennessee river. 24 volunteers attended a 3-day camp called a river cleanup. They removed 9,208 pounds is the actual number.
Wow.
The cleanup was organized by Keep the Tennessee River Beautiful. Johnsonville State Historic Park is the other group that was working on this. And I see some of the things that were in there were big things, and a lot of it was just little stuff that fits in trash bags. But I don't know if they had to like dredge the river, if this is just like along the river banks. I'm not really sure.
Crazy. Because
if you're dredging the river, you wouldn't think this would be the time of year to do that.
No, you wouldn't think so, but that's really cool that they're out there doing that, because it's so sad to see the water is getting nasty, and it's not just there, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't understand why anybody would think that's the answer. They're like, hey, I got to get rid of this. Because one of the things that I saw in there was like the lid to a sandbox. Oh. You remember those little
those like turtle sandboxes?
Yeah, there's one of those. Yeah. So I'm like, if you don't need it anymore, throw it away properly. Why would you just toss that in the river? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
wow,
don't do that.
That's very cool. I love that.
It is very cool. By the way, I want to remind you, I come across some of these stories myself, but I also have people share stories with me. And if you happen to come across something that is good news and you would be willing to share that with me, you can either do it through our Facebook page. We love the folks that follow us there, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. But I know there's a lot of people who are not on Facebook or some that are leaving Facebook. You can also reach out to us directly right through our website. That's not going anywhere. You can find us at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.